Hello, everybody, and welcome to Down on the Farm, brought to you by our good friends at State Farm, only right here on opensports.com. As always, I'm your host, Sid Rosenberg. Back in May, Manny Ramirez was suspended for 50 games for using banned performance enhancers. He's eligible to return to the Los Angeles Dodgers on July the 3rd, but for now, he's on a rehab assignment in the minor leagues. The first 3 games of his return were in Albuquerque with the Dodgers Triple-A Isotopes. Play-by-play man Robert Portnoy had a first-hand look at New Mexico's version of Mannywood. Good afternoon, Robert. How are you, pal?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, down here in Miami, and the Dodgers playing some good baseball without Manny. Now, you have a chance to talk to Manny so far the last couple of days?
Just a little bit, Sid. He's been pretty quiet with the media, but being the play-by-play man, I get to be in the clubhouse when the rest of the media has been moved out, and so we've exchanged a few fun little, comments here and there. He hasn't really talked about any of the topics that the mass media really want him to answer. He's just not addressing those questions.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, Robert, he actually has only given you guys limited access because he wants to make sure he's not put in a position where he has to talk about it. Is that right?
Exactly.
I guess also the investigation with his prescribing doctor and all that stuff is still out there, so he wants to kind of take a step back here. Now, is it also true, Robert, that Manny flew on a commercial flight in a middle seat? Is that right?
Yeah, but he sat between Manny Mota and the Dodgers security man, so it's not like he was sitting between you and me.
Okay. Now, Thursday, last night, Manny did not play. The game was delayed by rain, and the Dodgers did not want him risking injury on a wet field. What do you think about the fact that Manny doesn't play last night?
It was a fantastic decision on the part of the Dodgers. Everybody was really disappointed. We were heartbroken for our fans, as you can imagine, Sid, but after 2 rain showers, one around 6:30 or so, another around 7:15, they were finally able to get on the field just a couple minutes before 8 o'clock here in Albuquerque, but the game only lasted 5.5 innings. It really started pouring again, so it was a terrific decision. It's very difficult from any position to look at the choice the Dodgers made and say anything, but they made the right choice to protect their $25 million investment.
Sure. No, I understand. Robert Portnoy, the voice of the New Mexico Isotopes, the Dodgers minor league affiliate. Now, look, I love minor league baseball. In fact, for 1 year, I did the play-by-play for the Brooklyn Cyclones, which is about as low in the Met organization as you can get, Robert. A beautiful setting on Coney Island in the beach in Brooklyn, New York. But point being that every now and then a Met or a Yankee would get hurt. Years ago, Edgardo Alfonso went down for the Mets, and Andy Pettitte went down for the Yankees, and they would do their rehab stints with the Brooklyn Cyclones, and the fans would go berserk actually seeing a major leaguer playing in a minor league game. I would imagine the anticipation for some of these fans with Manny, one of the all-time greats, getting out there. It's got to be crazy there, no?
Oh, it was unbelievable. The reception was like nothing I've ever seen before, and I've seen some pretty ballyhooed rehab appearances. Kurt Schilling is one that I can recall back in '05 when he pitched for Pawtucket in Indianapolis, and boy, the media crush there was significant. But this is a rock star. I mean, this is not just a baseball star. This is a rock star. I mean, he is in every way. We see a lot of movie stars. A lot of movies get shot here in Albuquerque, and this was the same type of thing. I've never seen anything quite like it, and the fans, we might, before this series is over, because when it was initially reported he was coming here, Sid, it could have been a 3 or 4 game stay. So before it was even official, fans were lining up half an hour before box office opened. We sold 7,000 tickets on the Friday morning after the Thursday that the news broke, before it was even official. So we have a great sellout crowd planned for tonight as well, and Manny's already left town.
It's funny, too, because I don't remember the last time I saw a minor league team looking at your roster this morning, and some recognizable names, guys like DeWitt and Repko, but to have Manny Ramirez making about $20-something million a year. A couple of years ago, Jason Schmidt left the Giants, went to the Dodgers, and he's getting upwards of $15 million. I mean, you got 2 guys on that team that make nearly $40 million a year between Manny Ramirez and Jason Schmidt on your Isotopes roster.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's no doubt about it. And when you think about this, too, Sid, our starting rotation at the start of the season included Eric Milton, it included Jeff Weaver, and it included Sean Estes. I mean,
wow.
We really had a star-studded, major league player-packed roster this season. First year of our affiliation with the Dodgers, and it's been just incredible.
Now, the Isotopes president, Robert, said the team would donate $10,000 to anti-steroid charities after selling 50,000 tickets for this 4-game series. Is that right?
The Dodgers and the Isotopes are doing that together. In conjunction, the two of them will be doing that. That's correct.
Now, what about this controversy, Robert, about whether Manny should have been able to partake in a rehab stint while he was still suspended? I know that baseball CBA allows a 10-game window before the suspension ends, but some people say just stay away from the game completely. You should have a chance to play the last couple of days.
I don't buy it at all. I mean, 50 major league games. That's the suspension. 50 major league games. This is what was agreed upon by the owners and the players. It's the rules under which they're working right now. If you want to argue about the merits of the choice that they made, that's a completely different question. But based on what we have, this is exactly what he should be doing. They don't want to put him on the field on July 3rd without having played at game speed for more than 2 months. That makes no sense at all.
Now, I'll be 43 years old, God willing, come April 19th, born in 1967. I've seen lots of good right-handed hitters, Rodriguez, Pujols, all these guys, but a machine. Manny Ramirez, as you know, between Cleveland, Boston, Los Angeles, just an RBI, just a hit machine. I know he was 0 for 3 with a walk. He played 15 innings on Wednesday, a couple innings on Wednesday night. A, did he actually stick around for the whole game? And B, do you expect that Manny will be Manny again on the field when he gets back with the big team?
I think the swings I saw him take yesterday were most like what I remember from Manny Ramirez. He'll definitely be ready once July 3rd rolls around. I got a chance to talk to Manny Mota, who knows Manny's swing pretty well, and he said it looked really good in the cage yesterday. It's just a shame that he didn't get on the field. The plan was for him to play 7 innings after playing 4 innings the first 2 days, Sid, and it would have been nice to see him get 3 or 4 at-bats. But the swing that he took in his last at-bat on Wednesday night, he grounded out really sharply in the hole between short and third. I thought it was the best one he took the whole time he was here, and you could tell that he used the first at-bats of his first 2 games with us to track pitches, and I knew that was going to happen. He definitely wanted to see pitches, and you know something he really benefited by, Sid, is he batted against Manny Parra in Game 1 of this rehab stint. Manny Parra is a big league left-hander. He had 30-some-odd appearances and 28 or 29 starts for the Brewers last year. He just had a rough spot at the start of this year. Manny faced a big league left-hander, a power left-hander, no less, on Tuesday night. So he got to see big league pitching, and you know what? He looked pretty solid, quite honestly.
Now, on the way out here, Robert, Manny clearly, and obviously the biggest name that has been suspended, maybe not affected. Alex Rodriguez, of course, is part of this scandal as well, but the biggest name suspended. How do you think his relationship changes with Joe Torre, with the community in Los Angeles, with the fans? Now that he's been quote-unquote caught, can Manny still afford to be Manny, or does it not matter as long as he knocks in 60 runs the second half of the year?
I think the last thing you said is absolutely true, but I think part of Manny being Manny, I know that phrase came about because of Manny's moodiness and his eccentricities and the things that maybe didn't ingratiate him to, say, the front office in Boston or something like that. But for me, Manny being Manny is what we saw here in Albuquerque, and that's when he gets on the field the very first time on Tuesday night, he raises his bats to the fans, he tips his cap to the fans, he signs autographs at the railing just past the dugout on the left field side. He signs the balls of each of the 2 Little League teams that get to take the field of the Isotopes for the national anthem. These are the kinds of things that he has done throughout his career that make him Manny. That's the Manny persona that the fans love. That's never going to change. I saw him interact with our fans. I saw the way he handles himself with the players in the clubhouse. They still have respect for him, total respect for him. I'm sure Torre was extremely disappointed. The word that I got from Ned Colletti was shocked. He was very shocked when this happened. And the same for Kim Ng, the assistant general manager. So they're getting past that. If Manny continues to produce, continues to be the Manny that the fans love, which I have no reason to think that he won't, the other stuff's going to get pushed to the back.
30 seconds ago, I mentioned him earlier in our conversation here, Robert, the former San Francisco Giant, got a lot of money to come to Los Angeles. Jason Schmidt on your team, trying to get back to the big leagues. How does Jason Schmidt look lately?
I had a really nice conversation with him, about a 10-minute interview that's going to air on my pregame show tonight. He's trying to remake himself. He's a guy who used to throw 97. He throws 85 now. He hasn't figured out how to get his fastball command back yet. It cuts on him, and he's working on trying to figure that out. It's nothing like it used to be. He wants to contribute for a Dodgers run for a postseason and maybe a World Series championship this year. He's doing everything that he can. He pitches for a month, and he has soreness, and he has to rehab, and it's just a cycle he can't get out of right now. He says it's the best he's felt in 2 years, but he's just still working at it, hoping he can make it back.
super job. Robert, of course, the play-by-play man for the Albuquerque Isotopes, who are right at 500 right now, atop the American South Division of the Pacific Coast League. You can follow the Isotopes, by the way, on Twitter at Isotopes09. Robert, terrific job. Glad you had a chance to enjoy Manny Ramirez. Enjoy Jason Schmidt. Good luck in the second half. Thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you so much, Sid.
Great to have you. That was a terrific job. That's going to do it for this edition of Down on the Farm, brought to you by our good friends at State Farm, only right here on OpenSports.com. I'm your host, Sid Rosenberg. Be sure to come back on Monday for insurance runs. Until then, have a great weekend and enjoy the baseball.
The future of sports on the web is open.